Hi, this is So Much 3D, and let's talk about animation. In this video, I'm going to share with you my breakdown from taking an animation from its initial blockout phase to final polish. Okay, so I made some changes to the projectile attack and ranged attack that we have for the flying construct. Initially, I was just going to try to change or just tweak some of the appearance of it from an aesthetic standpoint, but I realized the overall behavior of it needed an upgrade as well too. If you look at the original animation, we have a simple kind of pop up and hit, and we've kind of, it's been serviceable for now. However, it is rather quick and it doesn't really allow much for a wind up. We're having to really lean on using effects to kind of drive the visual context of what's happening. So I wanted to break that down and perhaps create another version of this attack that is more aligned with what we have for others when it comes to the constructs, rather that be having an entire attack that is composed of 3 states, where you have a start, a middle, and an ending. This giving us an opportunity to hold the middle, or at least repeat the middle, or at least have a loop of the middle section to either repeat or to either control the timing and how we use that in the animator and the blend tree. So the new version, utilizing the initial state, the new idle pose that we have for the claw attack, or actually having the claws out more to kind of give this a more aggressive look and kind of scavenging look. So now the construct pops up with almost the same level of cadence that the first one does. However, once it comes to this state, we now go into a floating idle position where the construct's holding its position in place. There's a wind up and a kick forward. We now have the visor pop up a little bit more visibly, and it kind of pushes it back too, so we have a little bit of distribution of energy of it shooting the projectile, pushing back a little bit, and then coming back up to a state, and then using the middle section of this from about frame 45 to 95 to give ourselves a loop. So if we wanted to, we can keep repeating this section here and just repeating attack. Repeat, attack, recover, and then it'll fly, it'll give itself one more flap of the wings and then revert back to the idle state. So there we go. Trying to keep this a little bit more visually expressive. At the same time, I'm not trying to create an animation that's overly cinematic and a little bit hard to maneuver and work with in Unity. But I still broke it down into 3 stages. Now this does introduce some new functionality, or at least new behavior that needs to be implemented in the blend trees. But like I said, it's not too different from what we've done with other animations for our enemies. That said, we'll also have to readjust the timing, or at least the placement of where we put the effects. This is something that I talked to with Mr. Harrington about, and talked to Illy about it, and I think it's a good approach to kind of give this attack, since we're probably going to see it often. I think it really needed not just an aesthetic approval, but probably improvement, but more of a functional as well too. So hope you guys like it. I'll go ahead and post this in the art channel, and if everybody approves of it, I'll export it and have it ready for Harrington to start working on and tweaking.